Village Missions is life on an extreme in small town.
Missions is kind of my passion, like going to places I've never been. And so, at first I was pretty excited, and then we found out we were going to Nebraska, and I was trying to figure out where that was.
In all seriousness, we knew that Nebraska had a really long interstate that you had to go on to get to Colorado. And so we anticipated coming to a place that was basically a desert with lots of corn.
We got in the U-Haul, I kind of thought, okay, this is it. And I thought we could still back out though, because we're not there yet. And we got here and it was just kind of diving in head first.
When Jeremiah and Liz arrived, they just seemed like they just were made for our church.
The church here in town, it's really neat to drive by and see all the vehicles there all the time. You know, it's an active, living, breathing church.
I appreciate that Jeremiah thinks outside of the box. He isn't in a rut of this is how church is done. And so I can come to him and throw out questions like, what does church look like? And Jeremiah will sit there for a little bit and says, I've never thought of it that way.
We decided to conduct a church experiment where we stripped away all of the cultural add-ons or extras to church and go back to what church looked like in the beginning to see if there was something more and something deeper to church than what we had been experiencing up to this point.
The experiment was just really to encourage us that worship is not about us, it's about worshiping God. So it's just kind of getting outside of the box and really focusing on why we come together for fellowship and what fellowship looks like.
It did feel uncomfortable to not have the piano or the organ or the guitar or anything playing and to just sing a cappella. Also the prayer part, we would just turn around in our pews and pray together in small groups, and at first that was a little uncomfortable, but it just felt very intimate.
One of the biggest things we saw is church is a body that goes out and shares Jesus in people's homes. There's so much more than just meeting together for a couple hours on a Sunday.
The heart of the people is to reach out to the community, just to do God's work. I mean, it's just plain and simple like that.
We've got several different families that have opened up their home for homeless people. We have an elderly gentleman in the church who sold his home and gave the proceeds to be used for outreach. He gave away his car to a missionary family who needed it, and being the hands and feet of Jesus in practical ways.
There are several people that have shown the kind of love that I've never experienced in my life, in any church I've been in any family I've been in. The first Sunday after my wife went to rest home, Denise brought food for me in plastic containers, frozen, and put them in my car and told me that there's food there for you this week. She did that for 2 years running, every Sunday.
We helped a young man, and he's actually a single father, fix up his home. That was great for our church family, but also it made an impact on the community. They were like, who are these people that go to this church and what's going on there?
We always felt we were called to adopt, and God just opened doors for that to happen.
In the first chapter of James, it says that pure and undefiled religion in the sight of God is to care for the orphans and the widows in their distress. Daniel, Akeem, and Troy are three brothers that came into our lives at the beginning of January. Local foster kids from the state of Nebraska.
It was a big adjustment going from 0 kids to 3 instantly.
I turned my eyes to the table to sign all of the papers, and I looked up and my house didn't look anything like it had just 2 minutes earlier. Every toy in the bedroom was in the living room. The couches were being jumped on. I thought to myself, oh goody, this is gonna be fun.
Foster care has definitely brought a unique spin on our ministry. People see us having our good days, and they see us probably having our bad days too.
It's challenging, but it's great, and Lord willing, we would love to give Daniel, Akeem, and Troy a forever home.
Who will go where others won't go? Serve others won't serve. Be Jesus to the forgotten of our day. And who will fight to keep the churches open? Preach the word of hope and love the people of these unremembered places.
People are noticing Chalk Hills in Scotia. It's kind of shaking up the town a little bit. There's some activity and there's some action and things are happening.
We have since then gone back to a more traditional Sunday morning worship service where our instruments are back, the banners are back up, our beautiful banners are back up. What really happened is that there was a change in our hearts during that whole time in what all of this is about.
The Bible is simple. We make it too complicated. God just says, read my word and follow me. And it's simple. When you really come down to it, it's a simple thing that Christ has called us to do.
The heartbeat of Village Missions is to preach the word and to love the people. And that's what I have opportunity of doing through the ministry of Village Missions. And that's really the call of Village Missions, and the question on the table is, who will love the people of these unremembered places?